My name is Amy Johnson. I used to live with my husband Michael and our 5-year-old daughter. One day, I decided to treat my mom to a fancy sushi restaurant, something we hadn't done in ages. Our daughter was having a sleepover at a friend's house, so it seemed like the perfect opportunity for a quiet evening out. As we savored the luxurious sushi, a familiar voice caught my attention from the private room next door. "Nothing beats this expensive sushi, Michael. You must be relieved to taste something decent for a change." "Absolutely. After Amy's cooking, this is a welcome treat. Thanks for this, Mom." I froze, exchanging a glance with my mom as we discreetly peered into the adjoining room. To my disbelief, there sat my mother-in-law and Michael, indulging in the priciest items on the menu with an air of entitlement. "It's Michael and your mom?" "Yes, and to gossip about me like that behind my back is just plain rude." "They've always had their criticisms, even when I'm right there," I sighed with a wry smile. Michael, 3 years my senior, held a prominent position in a large corporation. When we married, I willingly left my job to be a full-time homemaker, fulfilling both his and his mother's expectations. From the start, my mother-in-law pushed for grandchildren, and thankfully, conception came swiftly, confirming my pregnancy just 2 months after we started trying. Initially, my mother-in-law was thrilled about my pregnancy, but her mood soared drastically upon learning we were expecting a girl. "A girl? What were you thinking?" "I wanted a boy, and hair. But we can't control the gender, and girls are just as wonderful. Cute for now, but they grow up, marry, and leave. They're of no use to us. Next time, make sure it's a boy." My husband echoed her disappointment. "Mom really wanted a boy. Having a girl means more expenses. That's our child you're talking about." "Enough. You're such a disappointment." Michael changed after we married. He used to be strong, protective, and decisive while we were dating, but marriage seemed to transform him into a puppet under his mother's control, joining her in criticizing me. This behavior worsened after our daughter was born. Our marriage deteriorated, and Michael began spending less time at home. Our young daughter noticed the tension between us. Unaware of my presence, my mother-in-law and Michael continued their disparaging remarks, accompanied by the sound of their eating, which soured the sushi for me. Their conversation took a more ominous turn. "How's Kate? Is the baby healthy?" "Everything's fine. I can't wait to meet my son." "That's wonderful. Unlike some, she managed to conceive a boy on the first try. Maybe because she's younger." "Could be. Young women are the best." "I'm excited about our new life together with our son next year. We're looking forward to the new house." "I wonder how Amy will react when she finds out Michael has a son. She'll be devastated. But no matter what she says, I choose Kate." As their conversation unfolded, tears streamed down my face uncontrollably. I had sensed their growing indifference toward me, but discovering their infidelity and plans for a new life together with a child was beyond anything I had imagined. My mind went blank, and it was my mom who gently held my trembling hand. "Those two. They're unforgivable," she whispered, glaring sharply at the closed door of the private room. "The audacity to plan taking over our new home," I murmured, my voice trembling with a mix of shock and anger. We had been preparing to move into our new home once our daughters started school. The land was a family discount from my father, who works in real estate, and he also secured a deal with a construction company to build it affordably, I explained, trying to steady my emotions. It seemed my husband and his mother had other plans, to live there with his mistress. "Lucky for us, we got the house at such a good price thanks to her father," my mother added bitterly. "Living in a new house with a young lover, they think it's the height of happiness." "And don't forget me," my mother-in-law chimed in. "I know, Mom. I'll give you Amy's room. It has great sunlight. You'll love it." "I can't wait to see my grandson," she continued with a hint of anticipation. "A child with Kate will surely be something," my husband joined in. Overwhelmed, I couldn't bear to listen any longer. We quietly left the restaurant, my appetite lost and my heart shattered. It turned out my mom had discreetly recorded their conversation, perhaps as evidence. Instead of returning home, I sought solace at my parents' house with her comforting presence, where I finally let myself break down in tears. "It must have been tough for you, Mom." "Why are you apologizing, Amy? The ones at fault are Michael and his people who betrayed you. I can't forgive them for causing my precious daughter so much pain." "I'm sorry, Mom. I might not be able to stay with Michael," I said quietly. My mom gently stroked my head with a kind smile. "That's okay. I was worried about what would happen if you wanted to continue with him. If things stayed the same, Michael might try to divorce you in a way that disadvantages you, maybe even demand alimony." "But I didn't cheat," I protested. "Now that you know about his betrayal, you can take control." Don't worry, I'm here with you, she reassured me with a smile. My mom has always been dependable. She was assertive when I faced harassment at school. I've admired her since I was young, so I decided to proceed with the divorce on my terms and hired a detective agency to investigate my unfaithful husband. He thought I was completely unaware, openly cheating without concern. I decided to gather evidence myself by placing a voice recorder in his car. Every Saturday, he claimed he was meeting colleagues, but I suspected he was seeing his mistress. Gathering evidence was surprisingly easy. Listening to the recordings, I realized just how much he looked down on me. Are you sure your wife isn't suspicious about us meeting every week? Don't worry, she believes everything I say. I'm confident I can manipulate her about alimony and child support. I don't want to give her a penny. Yeah, that makes sense. We have our future to think about. The old hag can just drop dead for all I care. You really say some terrible things. But Michael, you always say that too. I should have never married that awful woman. Why did you marry her in the first place? I saw her photo, and honestly, she's not even pretty. I must have been out of my mind back then. If I'd met you earlier, I wouldn't have given a woman like that a second glance. I'm so happy. I love you, Michael. I love you more than anything in the world. Soon after, they probably got intimate in the car. The explicit sounds were unbearable, so I stopped the recording. Listening to this, my sadness vanished, replaced by pure anger. They completely disrespected me, but I had no intention of letting them have their way. I continued gathering evidence with my parents' help. With additional proof from the detective agency, I was ready to confront my husband about a divorce. I told Michael and my mother-in-law that we needed to discuss something important and called a meeting. My parents offered to come with me, but I decided to handle it alone. This was my battle, and I wanted to resolve it myself. When they arrived, they looked annoyed. What's this important talk about? We're not free to attend to your whims. Yeah, you're interrupting our day off. I had plans for a lunch date with friends. I'm sorry, I really needed to talk to you. So what is it? Make it quick. With a serious expression, I handed Michael the divorce papers. My name was already filled in. For a moment, they were speechless. What's this about? Why are you bringing up divorce? I can't continue with you anymore. Please divorce me. Upon hearing this, my mother-in-law burst into laughter, soon joined by my husband. What are you talking about? Divorce me out of the blue? You know you can't live without me. Exactly. Know your place. It's ridiculous for you to suggest divorce. It doesn't matter who initiates it, does it? And how do you plan to live without Michael? You're just a housewife, and he's been supporting you. Planning to be homeless with your daughter? A homeless mother and daughter, that would be quite a sight. They mockingly laughed at me and my daughter. Despite their taunts, I remained composed. I informed my husband, I will be demanding alimony from Michael, as well as child support. What? Why should I pay alimony? Don't you understand what alimony means? This is why I can't stand uneducated people. I know what alimony means. I'm not ignorant. So, how do you plan to get alimony from me? Explain. Michael, you're having an affair with a woman named Kate, right? And she's pregnant with your child. Mentioning her name caught them off guard. They didn't expect me to know about the affair, but they weren't about to give in easily. What? You knew about Kate. You admit to the affair. Yeah, I admit it, but it's your fault. You got cheated on. Why blame me? Then my mother-in-law chimed in. It's because you only had a girl. You didn't try hard enough for a second child. If you just had a healthy boy, Michael wouldn't have left you. It's not that I didn't try. I couldn't. After our daughter was born, Michael didn't help with childcare or housework. How could I consider another child under those circumstances, especially as a first-time mom? What nonsense is this? Talking about childcare and housework. That's a woman's job. You're wrong to rely on a man like Michael. Maybe that attitude is why he got fed up with you. Hearing my mother-in-law defend her son, who cheated and got someone else pregnant, left me more astonished than angry. I couldn't believe I had tolerated such unreasonable people for so long. My husband continued to criticize me. You gave up being a woman after marriage. You stopped wearing makeup and aged quickly after childbirth. Who would want another child with an old hack? It's your fault for losing your charm. True, after childbirth, I didn't focus much on makeup or hairstyles, but I maintained basic grooming. Many women gain weight after childbirth, but I was careful not to. However, my husband, caught up with his young mistress, never noticed my efforts. Continuing to mock me, I made a request. Can you bring Kate here? I'd like to meet her. What? Why? She knew you were married and still had an affair, right? She also has a responsibility. I want to talk to her. Meeting Kate will only hurt you more, you know. Why would that be? Well, Kate is young and has a great figure, unlike you. Plus, she's carrying a boy, something you couldn't give me. You might just lose it out of jealousy. I don't care about that, just call her please. As I spoke coldly, my husband seemed displeased that I didn't react as expected. He clicked his tongue in annoyance. Then glancing at me intermittently, he started calling his mistress, deliberately putting the phone on speaker so I could hear their conversation. Hey, what's up? Are you coming over today? I need to apologize to Kate about something. What? What's going on? I'm scared. My wife found out about us. I want you to come over. Over? Is that okay? Meeting your wife? That's scary. It's fine. I love you, Kate, and I'll protect you. If that's the case, I'm relieved. I've wanted to meet her too, so sure. Kate's voice sounded naive, and hearing her talk irritated me. As you heard, she'll be coming over. Don't you dare lay a hand on her. Don't worry, I won't stoop to violence. About 30 minutes later, Kate arrived at our house, dressed inappropriately for the situation in a shoulder-bearing shirt and a miniskirt. She was a 25-year-old temp worker at my husband's company. We invited her in to continue the discussion. Despite my presence, my husband and his mistress began to flirt with each other. Kate is young and attractive, unlike someone else here. Even pregnant, she takes care of her appearance. Hey, don't say that. You'll make your wife angry. Oh, I guess she's not your wife anymore. Sorry for taking your husband. Kate smirked at me, clearly looking down on me. Then my mother-in-law compared us. Kate is young and beautiful, unlike Amy. Plus, she's giving us the boy we always wanted. She's feminine and charming, unlike someone else here. I really like her. I'm so happy to hear that from you. I like you too. They flaunted their relationship, trying to show off, but I wasn't affected by their display. I turned to my husband and Kate and resumed the conversation. I'm sure you're aware, but I'll be seeking alimony from both of you. Alimony? You're still on about that. Did you think you could just manipulate me to avoid paying? Hey, wife, you're scary. As I pressed them, Kate dramatically clung to my husband, who soothingly stroked her head. It's okay, I'll protect you, Kate. Hearing such a cheesy line made my skin crawl. How did I ever fall in love with this man? I couldn't understand why I married him in the first place. You do realize that if a married person commits adultery, they're obliged to pay alimony, right? Kate knew you were married and still got involved, correct? I have the right to demand alimony from both of you. Sure, we're together, but do you have any physical evidence? You think I don't have anything? I have all the evidence I need. I laid out the investigation report from the detective agency and photos of their affair on the table. I also played the recordings from the car and the conversation my mother had recorded at the sushi restaurant. My husband and mother-in-law were speechless, their eyes wide. How about that? I can do this much. You were at the sushi restaurant? Yes, I was at the next table. I heard familiar voices and was surprised to see you and your mother there, talking so loudly. Seriously? No way. My husband seemed visibly shaken by this revelation. My mother-in-law, too, was speechless, probably trying to think of a way to escape paying alimony. Then Kate spoke up, seemingly oblivious to the seriousness of the situation. Even if we have to pay alimony, we have the new house, so it's no big deal. If we run out of money, we can just sell it. It's quite a mansion, after all. Her smug attitude was irritating. I decided to enlighten her about the truth. You seem to be making plans for that house, but I won't let you have it. What are you talking about? My husband retorted. I'm the one who paid for that house, didn't I? You didn't pay anything, and now you want to take over. Have you forgotten under whose name the house was built? His face turned pale as he remembered the truth about the house's ownership. However, Kate, still clueless, thought she had the upper hand. I know you were looking forward to the new house, but please give up. It's going to be my home now. There's no place for you there. Maybe you can stay in a doghouse or something. Kate laughed, but my husband was clearly panicking. Why are you so pale all of a sudden? Well, actually, that house was built under Amy's father's name. What does that mean? It means it won't belong to us. What? So we get nothing? Right, you both will only have the alimony to pay. And Michael, you'll also pay child support for our daughter. As I informed them, my husband suddenly stood up, begging. Please, I intend to pay the alimony, but can we keep it reasonable? Professionals will determine the amount. I'll claim as much as I can. It seemed my ex-husband had been spending a considerable amount on his mistress. He always wore expensive items and probably lavished her with high-end gifts and extravagant dates. Despite his higher salary, his expenses far exceeded his income. He didn't even have savings left. Realizing this, the mistress stood up, shocked and furious. Wait a minute. If you have no money, there's no point in marrying you. You've wasted my time. What are you talking about? That's my line. I chose you because you seemed well off. If you don't have money and we can't have the mansion, there's no reason to marry. I'm calling off the engagement. Are you serious? I had anticipated this turn of events. Having learned a fact about her from the detective's investigation, I decided to reveal it to my husband, who sat shocked and distraught. You know, Kate's been involved with 3 other men besides you, Michael. She chose you because you seemed the most financially stable. As I confronted her, she sighed heavily, revealing her true intentions. Yes, that's right. I chose you because you seemed like the best target. I intended to keep seeing other men even after marrying you. Are you kidding me? I thought you loved me. I did like your lavish lifestyle, but let's face it, you're a 38-year-old man, and you have a strong old man smell. You're not exactly the handsome older type. I never saw you that way, but when I showed a bit of interest, you fell for it easily. I figured I might as well take advantage of you. What? What does that mean? Hearing her true nature, my husband looked utterly betrayed, tears streaming down his face. Then my mother-in-law spoke up. But the child in your belly is Michael's, right? You'll give us the son, won't you? Honestly, I'm not sure if the child is Michael's. My intuition tells me it's more likely Kyle's. But of course, we won't know until we check. Is that true? Well, I have nothing more to say, so I'll be leaving now. With that, the mistress abruptly ended the conversation and left. My husband remained, crying with his head in his hands. After he stopped crying, he turned to me with red eyes and pleaded. I was deceived by her. Can we just forget about the divorce? I promise I won't betray you again. Now you say this, you never cared about me or our daughter. You're just scared of being alone. Sorry, but I have no intention of remarrying you. After firmly rejecting him, he started crying again, his emotions out of control after being discarded by his mistress. Then my mother-in-law interjected. He's willing to try again, just go along with it. You're better off with Michael's income, aren't you? If you divorce now, remarrying will be difficult. Just drop this divorce nonsense. You both betrayed me first. I'm fed up with a cheating husband and a malicious mother-in-law. I'm tired of dealing with you. Let's handle the rest through lawyers. I'm going back to my parents' house. Wait, just wait a minute. My mother-in-law called out, but I shook off her hand and left. Wait, I want to live with you and our daughter. My husband pleaded, grabbing my leg, his face tear-streaked and distraught. I couldn't bear to look at his pitiful state. Goodbye. Enjoy your time with your mother, I said, leaving the house I had lived in for so long. With the help of a lawyer, the divorce was finalized. I claimed a lump sum in alimony from my husband and his mistress. Of course, I also demanded child support from my husband for our daughter, arranged as a fixed amount paid monthly. The mistress, having no money, had her parents pay the alimony. She was severely scolded by them and returned home after giving birth, living under their watchful eyes. Though she was as she was, her parents seemed decent. Knowing the child wasn't suffering brought me relief. My ex-husband continued to work, unable to quit due to his debts from the alimony payments. His affair with the temp worker naturally became known at work, leading to him being regarded coldly by his colleagues. He started making frequent mistakes and his salary was nearly reduced by about $1,800. Moreover, for some reason, he blamed my mother-in-law for our divorce and severed ties with her. Since my mother-in-law had been receiving about $1,800 in support from my ex-husband each month, she faced financial difficulties once this support stopped. She had to start working part-time as her pension wasn't enough. As for me, I moved into the newly completed house with my parents. My daughter was overjoyed to live with her beloved grandparents. While raising my daughter, I began helping with my father's business. Now, I am living a stress-free and happy life. In the future, I hope to continue enjoying peaceful and bright days with my loving parents and daughter.